that President Trump, in one of his own personal social media, I think he called it Truth or something of that sort, has uh, posted a artificial intelligence drawn map of the United States. I've read some reports that say that President Trump is obsessed with global, map. He wants to do it first by imposing these economic, sanctions. They said that, they say, bolte hain na, you try to buy people over and you try to buy countries, negotiate, offer them, money, and then if or rather impose some economic pressure so that they will be forced to surrender to you. Namaskar, friends. Today I'd like to share some of my thoughts with you on the US President Donald Trump, because he is very much in news these days. In fact, what provoked me to share my thoughts with you is the fact that a few minutes back I just read a news item that says that President Trump, in one of his own personal social media, I think he called it Truth or something of that sort, has posted a artificial intelligence drawn map of the United States, in which it has been shown that along with Greenland, Canada, and Venezuela are the constituent parts of the United States. So the point is, every second day he makes some points which really startle the rest of the world. What actually Trump is up to? You know that soon after he took over as the President of the United States last year, which happened to be his second term, he had started persuading the then Canadian Prime Minister to become the 51st state of America. And it was pointed out, as a country, America is even larger in area than United States. So if I read, I've read some reports that say that President Trump is obsessed with global map. If you see the world atlas, there has been this realization of late that who had created this global atlas or the map. Actually, when he had drawn the areas of various countries, as far as the size is concerned, that has not been exactly based on a standard and verifiable principle, in the sense that if one country's size, suppose, is measured through certain parameters, so these parameters have not been uniform as far as other countries are concerned. So the point that has been made by some scholars that this Greenland, for instance, is not as big as it is seen in the map. Actually, if its land mass in real terms will be much smaller than what it has been projected or has been shown in the global map and atlas. But the point is, Trump, it is said, has always been fascinated by the size of his, sizes of the country. So, as you know that if you, even after the disintegration of the Soviet Union, the present day Russia is the largest country as far as size is concerned. I mean, it is that's why it is called Eurasia. That means 1/4 of Europe is there, 2/3 of Asia is there. It is the largest. It is a supercontinental size countries. I think more than 15 or 20 time zones are there in Russia. And Trump doesn't like that there can be another country which appears bigger in size than Russia. It's very funny, but that's a fact, because he has said this to his colleagues, and the American experts or scholars or columnists have started writing this. I'm not saying that this is but these are the things which one didn't know about Trump, that he's obsessed with the sizes of the countries. And there he realized that if I am the world's most powerful leader, and if my country is the number one country in the world, whether in terms of economy or in terms of military, then my country also must be number one in size. And since Russia is much bigger in size than the present day America, so the best thing is to expand the American territories. In fact, earlier people were not giving much attention to the speech that he had made or had delivered soon after taking over as the president for the second time last year, that being 20th of January 2025. I think, if I remember correctly, there was one sentence in that speech that he would like to increase territories of the United States, that every president should aim for that. So that time perhaps people did not take in totality of his speech this particular thing very, very seriously. People say that like every leader, every president, every prime minister, they talk of their countries security, their countries safety, their country being much better. So that way people did not take much seriously. But soon after, the way he started claiming, or rather saying, that Canada must be the 51st state, and then this reaction, of course, he had stopped saying that after 5-6 months. But now again today he has said that this is the map, that Canada also must be part of America. So if you combine Greenland, a huge landmass, as it is seen in the map, though actually, as I said, the landmass may not be in reality as big as it is being seen to be. So that's a different matter. But in the map, at least, if these things are put together, then it may become equal in size to Russia, or even maybe more than in Russia. That I'm not very sure, but I think Trump is thinking in those terms, and in 21st or 22nd centuries. And then if you want to do it, and how he wants to do it, he is not doing it. He wants to do it first by imposing these economic sanctions. They said that they say bolte hain you try to buy people over, and you try to buy countries, negotiate, offer them money, and then if, or rather impose some economic pressure so that they will be forced to surrender to you. But if that does not work, then danda. If money is not playing any important role, or rather that is not succeeding in the achievement of your goal, or the realization of your goal, then the best thing is to apply military and take them over in the militarily. So I do not know what exactly, of course, do you know what he has done over the last 15 days? You know that Venezuela, how a sovereign independent country was attacked and its president was captured. rightly, wrongly, I'm not going to deliberate on that. And now he's threatening that he will be taking over in the Greenland militarily, and after he takes over in the Greenland, his next mission will be take over Canada. That means the global order that has been there since the end of the Second World War, like the rules on the basis of which the international community they do operate, like through United Nations, through various organs like WTO, World Trade Organizations. For him, they have become totally irrelevant. In fact, day before yesterday, he has constituted the so-called Board of Peace. I think Board for Peace or Board of Peace, something of that sort, in which he has invited India to be a member. Some critics are saying, what exactly is this? Earlier, people are saying that he was trying to do this thing for a solution of that war in Gaza. But now that Gaza thing has not been mentioned anywhere. Apparently, as I am talking to you some time back, I think France has rejected this offer. And in this Board of Peace, that Trump's Board of Peace, India, of course, has been invited, and Pakistan also has been invited. Russia has been invited. So this Board of Peace is a direct affront or challenge to the United Nations. So the point is that, world order for Trump means it is the Trump order. Like, people say there is a Monroe Doctrine before, now it is Trump, doctrine. So Trump's world order, the world will be run the way he wants, and in which there will be no established rules and regulations. Like, he doesn't believe in that. Precisely what he has been doing is, by Jor jiska, mulk iska. That means total domination of, if you are powerful, if you have got the force, then you take away, you can get away with everything. You can do anything and get away with it, because force is the key. As I said, that Jor jiska, mulk iska. So if we are traveling in that direction, what exactly are the implications? So that really is a matter of deep thoughts, and something on which I'll be sharing my thoughts later with you. Thank you very much for your patience in listening to us. Thank you. Namaskar.